first heard about Spencer in August of 2014 when I had just started working at Christ Lutheran School, and I went to the first meeting of the school year, and I ended up sitting next to his aunt. She said, "Do you like Prince William?" And I said, "Yes," which I was pretty obsessed with the royal couple at the time. And she said, "I have someone you need to meet."
So I first heard about Kim from my uncle and aunt, who kept saying that I got to meet this girl. She was the band teacher at the school, and my aunt just loved her, where she'd see her every day. So she kept saying that I have to talk to this girl, that she runs, she does triathlons, she loves sharks. And
throughout the year, I ended up also hearing about various sons and nephews that I needed to meet, not realizing that it was one person.
And then I got more pressure from my mother saying I needed to get in touch with her.
They had constantly been trying to get me to come over for Christmas or Thanksgiving, and I didn't bite.
And then finally my uncle, he really said that she's a cool girl, you gotta talk to her. And
they knew I was traveling overseas to Europe, and he had gone, and they made a point to tell me that, and that we should get together to talk. And so I ended up giving his mom my phone number. He didn't do much with it for a while, but finally he sent me a text message and asked if I wanted to get together to talk about Europe. And so we met on a blind date at Oso Brewery.
I just remember, because I saw her picture on Facebook, and so I had an idea of what she looked like, and when she walked in I was kind of blown away. And
when I walked in, because he stood up, he saw me walk in and he stood up, was, "Oh, thank God he's taller than me."
When she's going to Europe, I wrote her a letter, and in the letter I said that I love you, and I want the first time I'd say it to you in person to be on the Charles Bridge.
But he had given me a letter, and he told me to not read it until I was on the plane. And I opened up this letter, and it's like 4 pages long or something like that, I'd have to count. But he starts out just talking about all of his feelings and how great the last couple months had been, and how much he's going to miss me, and how he was thinking about the perfect way that he should say it, and how he was thinking. And so it's multiple pages full of thinking about saying something, which I know what he's thinking about saying, but not saying it, and thinking about how anything should happen to you on a plane. I can't imagine me not having said I love you, and not you knowing how I feel about you. So I love you. So we put it in writing, and I'm on this plane by myself, and I'm just like freaking out, crying, excited, happy, but unable to do anything about it. So I think I read that letter 20 bazillion times on that flight. And then as soon as we landed, I called him right away, and I'm like, "I love you, I love you, I love
you." She was texting me throughout the day saying that she was craving kettle corn, and so she was busy studying, and I thought it'd be nice to just kind of surprise her and bring her a little treat. So I stopped by, got some flowers and some kettle corn, and surprised her at her door. And she had no idea, and so she was wearing her sweats and mismatching socks, and just was totally kind of in her studying phase. And so it was surprising to see her facial reaction to that was great.
So on our second date, Spencer took me hiking on Camelback Mountain, and he showed up to pick me up. And so he came inside, and I was kind of showing him and acting very cool. I was like, "Yeah, so that's a shark. There's some shark art here, and shark jaws there. I kind of like sharks." And then it was kind of a weird moment, kind of one of those like, kind of a sign in some ways that like God showing you, like, "Hey, this guy's gonna matter to you." And he pulled up his phone, and he's like, "You're not gonna believe this." And I'm like, "Okay, what's he about to show me?" And on the background of his phone was a picture of a great white shark. He's like, "I really like sharks too. I've kind of been obsessed with them ever since I was snorkeling and I saw sharks beneath me, and I just really thought they were cool. I love Shark Week. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I gotta show you all the cool stuff I have. So immediately I was wanting to show him my shark bath toys, my shark slippers, my shark...
My interest and her rather obsession with sharks has always been very interesting to me.
When I went overseas to Europe, I took a little shark with me that I thought, because when you're traveling by yourself, it's kind of weird to always be taking selfies wherever you go. So I thought it'd be really cool to have a shark that, in all the different places that I went, I could take a picture of the shark there. Would always talk about the shark being a part of my adventures, and so from that, the shark has now become a part of our adventures. And so, yeah, when we got engaged, we took a photo with the shark, and I think the shark will probably continue to come on a lot of our adventures with us.
I wanted to just do something that's kind of simple and us, and nothing too elaborate, but wanted it to be special, something that we'll always remember. So I recruited my older brother Matt to help me the day of it. The plan was I was going to find her during her morning run and then ask her during it. But I didn't know exactly where she was going to be running, and so it evolved more into just meeting outside of her house and catching her there. But in all my planning and coordinating with this, I didn't take into account how dark it was. And so, with it being in March, the sun was still coming up a lot later, and so around 5 or 6 in the morning it was pretty dark still. And I was wearing all black basically, and after probably a half hour or so of me running back and forth on the street, just trying to find her coming down one of the streets because I knew that's where she'd be coming from, she finally rounded one of the corners.
When I came back running towards my house, I saw a really, really tall man across the street, and there's a lot of homeless people in Tempe, so I was kind of like, okay, weird, but okay, and standing across the street facing a house. So, being a little cautious, I pulled out my pepper spray, like, that's a little weird, and then I saw another guy, tall guy, running towards me, and I'm thinking, man, the homeless population's gotten a little different here in Tempe recently, but he's running towards me. So then I'm very cautious. I'm like, oh man, these people saw me leave my house, they planned this, you know, you think about lots of crazy things when you're running. And then
I thought how sketchy this might be with the guy kind of standing in the corner of a shady house, and then me wearing all black running towards her. So I yelled out to her saying Kim, and then I heard her call back. And so I was glad she knew it was me, and she was all excited and happy. Ran up to her. We were just right in front of her house. Gave her a big hug, and she said, "What are you doing here?" and everything. And I said, "Oh, I just here to surprise you." And then she kept saying that she's got another quarter mile of her run to finish. She's like, "Do you want to go with me?" And I was like, yeah, I do. Just 1 second though. There's something I need to ask you. And so that's when I got on the knee, and I can't remember what I said, but eventually I asked her to marry me, and pulled the ring out and put it on, and she said yes. And my brother was in the corner there taking pictures and everything. So
I'm like trying to use the street light to see what the ring looks like, because at this point in time I hadn't seen it, but it was on my finger. And yeah, it was really great, because he did finish my 0.2 of a mile with me. And and then from there it was just the best day ever, because I had to go to work and I was super excited, and I called my sister Kate on the way, and then I got to school and the kids started noticing, and they were super excited and giving me hugs, and it was just, and then he showed up, and so then they were all like, ah, I got to be a part of it, which was just really cool, and everyone at work was excited. We got to show his mom, and then we both had to go our separate ways for the day, but then later that afternoon, it was the anniversary of our second date, where we went hiking on Camelback Mountain Echo Trail, and so we had already had plans to do that. So we met up and went hiking, and we took the shark to the top and took a ring shark photo. Really just looking forward to kind of living life alongside each other.
Just spending every day with her?